Welcome to another deep dive, and this time we're stepping into the incredible world where AI is changing how we grow food.
Yep, and it's pretty mind-blowing stuff. We're talking about artificial intelligence tackling things like plant diseases.
Which is a huge CE deal. Like, did you know plant diseases, just like the common wheat rust, can cause billions in crop losses every single year?
Yeah, it's a massive problem. And it's not just the financial hit either. We're talking about impacting global food security too.
Exactly, and that's where AI comes in, right? I mean, we've heard about how AI can analyze images and tell us if a plant looks sick.
Right, but that's only part of the story. And the issue is a lot of times AI can't tell us why a plant is sick. It's like going to a doctor, being told you look unwell, but not getting a diagnosis or treatment plan.
So it's like, hey, something's wrong, but no clue what or how to fix it.
Pretty much. Just seeing a problem isn't enough. We need to understand it.
So that's where this new research comes in, the paper we're diving into today. It's all about a new AI framework, one that's designed to not just detect plant diseases, but to describe them with the same detail as a human expert.
Yep, that's the goal, and that's what makes this research so groundbreaking. It's called PDPC, and it uses a really special approach called a concept graph constructor to do just that.
Okay, concept graph constructor. That sounds like some next level stuff. What does that even mean in simple terms?
Basically, it means this AI isn't just looking at the pixels in an image, it's analyzing the relationships between different concepts, like the color, the shape, the location of a lesion on a leaf. It's building a mental map of the disease, similar to how a plant pathologist would think.
Oh, wow. So it's not just seeing, it's actually understanding.
Exactly. And that understanding is what allows it to go beyond simple image recognition and actually start to explain what it's seeing.
Which is crucial for accurate diagnosis and treatment.
100%. And that's the missing piece a lot of AI has been struggling with.
You know, it's interesting. The paper actually draws this cool parallel between how humans diagnose problems and how AI does it. We both rely on visual cues, but humans can explain what they see and why they think it's happening, and that's what AI has had a hard time doing until now.
Absolutely. That ability to explain is key. And this PDPC framework, that's what it's all about, bridging that gap between seeing and understanding.
Okay, so back to this AI describing diseases with expert-level detail. How is that even possible? What makes this AI so special?
So the researchers behind PDPC, they created this massive database of plant disease descriptions. Think of it like an encyclopedia of plant pathology, packed with info on hundreds of diseases across all sorts of crop types.
Whoa, that's a lot of information.
Yeah.
So the AI is essentially learning from the best, tapping into the accumulated knowledge of real plant pathologists.
Exactly. Think of it as having a team of plant disease experts working behind the scenes. The AI uses this database in two main ways. First, it gathers all the relevant information from these existing descriptions.
Okay, so it's pulling from the encyclopedia. Got it. What's the second way?
So that's where our concept graph constructor comes back in. It takes all that information, breaks it down into key concepts and their relationships, figuring out how all the different pieces of information connect, kind of like a detective piecing together clues.
So it's not just memorizing facts. It's learning to analyze and synthesize information like an actual expert.
Right. But hold on, there's one more crucial step. The AI goes through this concept injection refinement phase. Basically, it's adding missing details, correcting errors, making sure it's using all the proper scientific terms. It's like having a built-in editor that polishes up the description to make it super accurate and easy to understand.
So it's not just identifying a disease. It's about communicating that information in a way that's helpful and meaningful to humans, whether they're farmers, scientists, or anyone working with plants.
You got it. And the detail is really amazing. This AI can describe the shape, the color, the size of the lesions, where the disease is on the plant, even the potential impact on the yield. It's pretty comprehensive.
Wow, that's some serious next-level plant diagnostics. Okay, so we've established this AI is incredibly sophisticated in how it diagnoses and describes diseases. But how does it stack up against other AI models out there? I mean, there's a lot of AI being developed for all sorts of things.
Yeah, that's a great question. And the researchers really wanted to put PDPC to the test. They compared it to several state-of-the-art AI models, even some of those really powerful general-purpose language models we're hearing so much about.
How did it hold its own?
Well, let's just say the results were impressive. When it came to accurately describing plant diseases, PDPC consistently outperformed the competition.
So how did they measure that? Was it just like, oh, this one seems better? Or was there actual data to back it up?
Oh, they had hard data for sure. They used a whole bunch of different metrics to evaluate the quality of the descriptions, looking at accuracy, fluency, how complete they were, and on every measure, PDPC consistently scored higher.
So it's not just a matter of opinion. The numbers show PDPC is truly exceptional at this.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. PDPC can even describe diseases it's never seen before. It's called zero-shot learning, and it's a total game changer for dealing with brand new or emerging plant diseases.
Hold on. It can identify a disease it's never encountered before. How is that even possible? Is it like psychic or something?
Haha, not quite psychic, but it's pretty close. Basically, by learning the underlying structure of plant disease descriptions, the AI can generalize its knowledge to new situations. It's kind of like teaching a kid to recognize different types of fruit. Once they understand the concept of fruit, they can identify new fruits they've never seen before.
That's a perfect analogy. So it's not just about memorizing specific diseases, it's about learning the whole language of plant pathology, like becoming fluent in plant speak.
That's a great way to put it. And that ability to adapt is absolutely crucial in agriculture, where new diseases are always popping up.
Wow, this is incredible. We've covered a lot of ground already, but I want to pause for a second and highlight just how impactful this could be for the world.
Yeah, you're right. It's important to step back and see the big picture. Imagine a world where farmers have this AI right on their phones. They take a picture of a sick plant and boom, instant diagnosis and treatment recommendations.
It's like having a personal plant doctor in your pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And think about how transformative that would be, especially for smaller farmers who maybe can't afford all those expensive diagnostic tools or consultants.
And zooming out even further, it's not just about individual farmers. This has huge implications for global food security. If we can reduce crop losses from disease, we can produce more food with fewer resources.
It's a powerful example of how AI can address some of the biggest challenges facing humanity.
This is seriously inspiring stuff. But before we dive into the nitty-gritty of how they built this AI and all the amazing results they got, let's take a quick break.
Sounds good. When we come back, we'll unpack exactly how PDPC was created and how it performed in all those rigorous tests.
We'll be right back after this.
Stay tuned. All right, so we're back, and I bet you're wondering, how did they actually train this AI to be so incredibly accurate? Because creating that data set, well, that was a massive undertaking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's not like you just feed a bunch of random plant pictures into an AI and expect it to magically become an expert.
Data quality is just as important as the quantity. The researchers needed to create a data set that was both vast and accurate, something that just didn't exist before.
So where do they even begin? How do you build an encyclopedia of plant diseases from scratch?
Well, they started with two large plant disease repositories. These are basically like massive online libraries of plant disease information. Combining those two gave them over 20,000 images to work with.
20,000 images. That's a lot of sick plants.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing it wasn't as simple as just copying and pasting everything into a folder.
You're right, it was a really meticulous process, and they combined the power of AI with the knowledge of plant pathologists.
So it was a team effort right from the start.
Exactly. First, they used a deep learning model to automatically generate initial descriptions for each image. Think of it like a first draft.
So they used AI to get the ball rolling.
Yep. But they didn't just blindly trust the AI. Human experts meticulously reviewed and corrected those descriptions, making sure they were accurate and using all the correct scientific terms. It was like having a team of editors polishing each entry in the encyclopedia.
It's so cool how they blended AI and human expertise to create this super high quality data set. Kind of reminds me of how PDPC itself uses both approaches to diagnose diseases.
Yeah, it's like a microcosm of the whole project, AI and human intelligence working together. And this careful attention to detail, making sure the data was top-notch, that's a big part of why PDPC performs so well. You can't get great results without great data.
Makes sense. Okay, so they had the data, they had the AI framework, but how did they actually put PDPC to the test? How did they know it would live up to all the hype?
Well, they designed some pretty rigorous experiments. They pitted PDPC against some of the other leading AI models out there, even those super-powered general-purpose models that can tackle a wide range of tasks.
So they threw some tough competition at it. And how did PDPC handle the pressure?
It crushed it. Across the board, PDPC outperformed the competition, especially when it came to accurately describing those plant diseases.
But again, how do they measure that accuracy? It can't just be a matter of opinion, right? There has to be some objective way to compare these models.
Oh, they had it down to a science. They used a bunch of different metrics, things like accuracy, fluency, how detailed and complete the descriptions were. And on all these measures, PDPC consistently came out on top.
Okay, so it's not just a feeling. They have the data to show that PDPC is the real deal. It's a top performer.
No doubt about it. But the researchers didn't just stop at comparing scores. They wanted to dig deeper and understand why PDPC was so successful. So they did these things called ablation studies.
Ablation studies. That sounds kind of intense. What exactly does that involve?
It's actually pretty straightforward. They basically took PDPC apart piece by piece, removing different parts of the framework to see how it impacted performance. It's like taking apart a machine to see which parts are essential for making it work.
So like if you took the wheels off a car, it wouldn't go very far. You're seeing what each component contributes to the overall success.
That's a great analogy. And what they learned from these ablation studies was that the concept graph constructor and that concept injection refinement step, those were absolutely crucial to PDPC's success. Those are the stages where the AI is analyzing relationships between concepts and making sure the descriptions are accurate and clear.
So it's not just about recognizing patterns, it's about going deeper, understanding the meaning behind the patterns, like a detective connecting the dots.
Exactly. And to really bring the results to life, they visualized the output from all the different AI models.
Visualize, so they created like pictures or diagrams of what the AI was thinking.
Pretty much. They color-coded different parts of the descriptions, things like symptoms, the location of the disease, where the photo was taken. It allowed them to quickly see which AI was providing the most comprehensive and informative description.
Wow, that's so cool. It's like peeking into the AI's brain and see how it processes information.
You got it. And those visualizations made it crystal clear PDPC was the clear winner when it came to providing rich and accurate descriptions. It wasn't even close.
You mentioned earlier that they even compared PDPC to some of those big famous language models that everyone's talking about. How did it stack up against those giants of AI?
It's true. Those big models, they're incredible at general tasks, but when it came to the very specific language of plant pathology, they often missed crucial details. It's like they were painting with broad strokes, while PDPC was using a fine-tipped brush to capture all the nuances of the disease.
So even though those big models are impressive in a lot of ways, it sounds like specialization really matters when you're dealing with complex fields like plant pathology. It's about having the right tool for the job.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And remember that whole thing about PDPC being able to identify diseases it's never even seen before? Well, they tested that too.
They did. Okay, now I'm really intrigued. How did they do that? And how did PDPC perform?
They basically gave PDPC a pop quiz. They showed it pictures of plants it had never encountered before, things like spinach, mint, bok choy, completely new species for the AI.
Talk about a challenge. So how did it do?
PDPC aced the test. It consistently provided more accurate and complete descriptions of those unfamiliar plants, even outperforming some of the big-name AI models in several cases.
Wow, that's amazing. It really proves this AI isn't just memorizing patterns, it's learning to generalize, to apply its knowledge to completely new situations. It's a whole other level of intelligence.
Exactly, and that adaptability, that's essential for tackling real-world challenges where new threats are constantly emerging, especially when we're talking about something as vital as food security.
This is absolutely groundbreaking stuff. I mean, this research has the potential to completely revolutionize plant disease diagnosis, making it faster, more accurate, more accessible.
I couldn't agree more. But it's important to remember, even this amazing AI has its limitations.
Ah, yes, the inevitable but. What kind of limitations did they discover?
Well, one thing they found is that when an image had multiple leaves, sometimes the AI missed details or focused too much on just one leaf. It's like it got a bit overwhelmed by the complexity of the scene and couldn't quite keep track of everything.
Okay, so it's not perfect, it still has room to grow and learn.
Exactly. Even the most advanced AI systems are still under development. But even with these limitations, this research is a huge step forward in AI-powered plant disease diagnosis. It's a really exciting development.
It really gets you thinking about the potential impact this technology could have on agriculture as a whole. I mean, it's mind-blowing.
Just imagine farmers could have access to real-time, on-demand disease diagnosis, allowing them to make informed decisions quickly and efficiently. It could change everything.
From how we manage crops to how we ensure a stable and sustainable food supply for a growing population, the implications are huge.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the technology itself. The researchers really emphasize the importance of collaboration throughout this project.
Oh, that's interesting. What do you mean by that?
Well, this project brought together computer scientists, plant pathologists, and agricultural experts. It was a truly interdisciplinary effort, highlighting how solving complex problems requires diverse perspectives and expertise.
That's a great point. It's not just about brilliant minds working in isolation. It's about bringing those minds together, pooling their knowledge and skills to create something truly impactful. That's how real progress happens.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And that's a lesson that applies far beyond the fields of AI and agriculture. If we want to tackle the big challenges facing our world, we need more of that collaborative spirit.
Well said. This research is so inspiring. It shows what we can achieve when we combine cutting-edge technology with human ingenuity and a spirit of collaboration. It's not just about AI. It's about people coming together to create a better future.
Absolutely. But before we get carried away, let's bring it back to our listener for a moment. We've covered a lot of ground, but what's the one thing that really stood out to you from all of this?
For me, it's the potential impact. Just thinking about how this could change things for farmers everywhere. Imagine giving every farmer, no matter where they are or what resources they have, access to this kind of expertise.
It's like leveling the playing field, right? Giving everyone the tools they need to succeed.
Exactly.
Mm.
And it's not just about individual success either. This could have a ripple effect across the entire agricultural system.
Absolutely. And we've talked about food security, but there's the environmental impact too. If we can reduce crop losses, we need less land, fewer resources, less pressure on the environment.
Yeah, that's huge. It makes you wonder, where else could this go? Could we use this AI to predict outbreaks before they even happen?
That's a great question, and I think it's definitely possible. Imagine having this AI constantly monitoring fields, picking up on subtle signs of disease, things we humans might miss.
It would be like having an early warning system for plant health.
And we could intervene early, stop outbreaks before they spread, minimizing damage, reducing the need for pesticides.
And maybe even help us develop more disease-resistant crops down the line. That would be incredible.
Yeah, that's the long-term goal, right? To breed crops that are naturally equipped to fight off disease. And this AI could help us get there.
It's amazing to think about all the possibilities, from early detection and prevention to personalized advice for every farmer.
We've talked about personalized medicine, but personalized agriculture, that's a whole new frontier.
It's like having a custom-tailored plan for every farm, every crop, based on the unique conditions and challenges they face.
And all thanks to the power of AI and the ingenuity of those researchers who saw the potential and made it happen.
This has been a truly mind-blowing deep dive, and I think the takeaway here is that we're just at the beginning of this journey.
Oh, absolutely. We're only scratching the surface of what AI can do for agriculture. And this research, it's like opening a door to a whole new world of possibilities.
So to everyone listening out there, we leave you with this thought. How else can we use this incredible technology to change the way we grow food, to ensure a more sustainable and abundant future for everyone?
It's a challenge and an opportunity, and we're all part of this conversation. So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Because the future of agriculture is in our hands, and AI, well, it might just be the key to unlocking a brighter, more sustainable future for all of us.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible deep dive. It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.
And we'll see you next time for another fascinating journey into the world of cutting-edge science and technology.